Steve Dangle, Adam Wilde, and Jesse Blake.
Let's go!
Is this weird for you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who the hell is this?
Senor Adam Wilde.
Who is this?
Sorry.
Hi.
It's been a heck of a week.
It's okay. You didn't miss any stories.
I missed the biggest week in hockey, man.
You missed Mark Bergevin.
And Patrick Waugh embarrassing himself. Man, I
You know what? You missed the peak. You always miss the big Hab stories.
I know, I missed
you
the
missed the
PK.
Subban trade.
I was in London
That's unbelievable.
getting engaged. Worthwhile trip. Oh, come on. I was just kidding. Joking.
And then you missed Bergevin's divorce from the Montreal Canadiens.
I did.
So.
I certainly did.
Wow.
And you did talk about the fact that Jeff Gordon is the GM of the Montreal Canadiens no matter who they hire?
Yes.
You did mention
we
that.
did.
Okay,
we did
cool.
talk about that.
So what else did you guys talk about?
We talked about how much we missed you.
No,
Right?
you didn't. You definitely didn't talk
We
about that.
definitely did.
Yeah.
No, I don't
We
think you
did. Okay, so off the top of the show, I was like, we should address the fact that you haven't been on for the last two shows. And you're like, do people care? True story. Yesterday, woman at the post office, Cindy,
Hi, Cindy.
asked where you were.
Really?
She did. It was actually a really sweet meeting because I haven't seen her since before COVID.
Wow.
And she sees me and she does a double take because of the mask. And she goes, is that Leo's dad?
No.
I love
And
that.
she was up to date on everything. She was just, I go, have I seen you since Leo was born? No, you haven't. And then Charlie died. And oh, what a hurricane of emotions. And what else did she say? She was asking all the pertinent questions, but there was a line behind me. So we didn't get to bond that much. But I am going to go see Cindy again.
That's pretty cool.
I'm very happy I got to see Cindy again.
Very nice.
Yeah,
very, very nice.
She's very nice.
I gave Oshawa a bit of a shout out this morning on the morning show.
You should have, but why?
We were talking about something to do with traffic or whatever, and I said, like, shout out to anybody that has to get off at Ritson Road because that's a fucking dangerous exit. And
It's awful.
it's one of the worst exits I've ever seen on the 401. And then a bunch of people from Oshawa were like, "Thank you. Everybody always ignores us." They're like, "Simcoe's worse though." And I maybe
Simcoe's worse, and Brock in Whitby is even worse.
it's even worse. It's terrible.
So they
It's
had to
like,
fix that.
If you
it's
imagine,
okay. It only took 2 years, though.
imagine a major highway and there's one single lane to get off and a light literally right there, like a red light right off the. So you've got cars full stop on the highway while people are going 100 kilometers an hour.
100, stop!
Yeah, it's crazy.
No, stop now! And there's like 3 exits and 2 of them are death traps. It's great.
So I've had time to think, guys. I had a lot of time to think. Go deep into TikTok. Talk about getting obsessed with Staten Island streeters.
Coney Island.
Coney Island. Oh, it's Coney Island.
Yeah.
Coney Island. My bad.
It's okay.
My
You got
bad.
Pete Davidson on the mind, but like, whomst among us doesn't?
Not a good move.
9 female wives. Check Instagram. I love that.
That one is the most underrated one.
I know. Why is no one making more of that? But I've had time to think and get obsessed with some things, and I got a little obsessed with the Leafs. And it appears I was in fact wrong.
Oh, yeah?
This is a good team.
They're not
They've
bad.
Really put it together. What blew me away though, and I think it was Scott Wheeler that tweeted this. He's like, Mitch Marner is having his least productive season since his rookie year, and they're doing this well.
And he's had some really good plays this week.
That's not an insult to Mitch Marner, by the way.
No,
He's
I know.
got 21 and 24.
I think the least productive thing is only because of his slow start.
Yes.
Like if you cut it off, take away the first 2 weeks of the season, it's probably not that.
He's probably scoring at 100 points.
Right.
Yeah.
So I don't look at it that way.
No, 100%. But in if you were to take all 24 games and put them together, technically speaking, that's what it is. And you would think,
Actually.
well, you think about it, like when a team does really, really well, like the Penguins or the Oilers or whatever, it's their star players going ballistic, right? It always is. With Toronto, yes, Mitch Marner's for sure gone ballistic lately, and as has Austin Matthews, 3 goals in 6 games. 3 goals to start off the no stash era. Not bad.
Not bad.
But man, it seems to be a lot more by committee.
Oh, they're just good. They're just kind of good. They've gotten fortunate. I mean, let's call it what it is. Jonas Johansson was not good at all for the Colorado Avalanche, but he's also like their third goalie, people forget, and had like an hour to prepare for the game by the sounds of it because they didn't know Darcy Kemper wouldn't be ready to go, to the point where their fourth goalie, Justus Annunen, wasn't in the building. So they had a U of T guy there again as the potential backup for the Avalanche. And I hate that is front page news now. Every time, because it has to be. It has to be front page news.
Because of David Ayers.
Because of David Ayers. Because the friggin' guy might win.
Did you get a few tweets about it?
Adam. Did I get a few tweets about it? Oh my God.
Was part of you hoping that maybe it would happen?
No. Because there's no winning as the team who has to play against that goalie. Because either you shell just a regular civilian or you lose.
Right.
And I don't know. I think I'm going to go out on a limb and say losing's worse.
Right. Okay.
It was cool to see him leave the ice last. And did you see at the pregame skate, he stayed on the ice just until everybody left, and he cherished the moment.
Cool.
It was really cool.
Did you see the e-bug in St. Louis?
No.
It was someone who actually worked for the Blues. I can't remember who it was, but he was taking warm-up with no helmet.
No way.
Was he 86? And he's like, this is how I played back in the day.
He's skating around, no bucky, just hair flowing in the wind, and I'm like, you're going to have to put that on eventually, sir. Like, it's the NHL. They shoot hard.
Kind of interesting that Lucas Raymond obviously is having a killer year in Detroit, which I don't think he's getting enough credit for that. Like, no one's mentioning
the
Lucas
Red Wings
Raymond
in general.
No,
are not getting enough credit.
But Michael Bunting is now second in league scoring for rookies.
I mean, he's not a rookie, but like
He is a rookie. He's never played 25 games.
You're right.
Yeah.
He's not going to get.
He's a rookie like Panarin was a rookie when he was 24 and he started in the NHL.
Here's the thing. He is a far more ridiculous rookie than Panarin, who probably shouldn't have even been a rookie.
That was Panarin's first NHL season.
That's the rookie.
His first NHL. This
you're
is Bunting's
31
like third or something like that.
But he's been pieces, right? It's bits and pieces.
Yeah, but that's like Raycroft, who also shouldn't have won Rookie of the Year. Raycroft won Rookie of the Year in his like fourth NHL season. That's ridiculous.
Michael Bunting played 21 games last year and 5 the year before. Why is the 25 games is the threshold?
We went through this on a previous episode, but Justin Bourne laid out Bunting misses all these rookie cutoffs by like one game or like less than a week in terms of age. He's 26 years old.
I know.
He's not a rookie.
Well,
that's an adult man.
He's a rookie. An adult man
but
rookie.
He's technically an adult man rookie.
He's been very good.
And also,
boss baby.
For some reason, NHL.com and specifically the Leafs have not changed his background photo.
Yes, and I hate it.
And it's still Coyotes.
Pisses me off.
And it's the bad Coyotes logo. It's not even the Kachina.
It is the bad Coyotes logo. It's so many people have been talking about Matthews to the Coyotes over the last week that this graphic went up with Matthews in 4 different Coyotes jerseys, and I was like, this is less a shot at Leaf fans and more a condemnation of how bad the Coyotes jerseys used to be.
They were bad.
They were bad.
Well, they had a great jersey, and then they moved off it.
Yeah. Hey, this is great. Let's fuck it up, said every NHL team on the face of the earth ever.
Except for the Canadiens.
Except for the Canadiens.
They've always done it right.
Let's not fuck it up, except one time we're going to have like a weird barbershop jersey with a leaf in the middle.
That was weird.
History.
Yeah, 100%.
And even Habs fans were like, listen, we're big on history and fuck this jersey.
I wanted to get your opinions, guys. And this is not me doing a victory lap because I don't cheer for this to happen. But Frank Saravalli of Daily Faceoff has Justin Hall listed as the most likely Leafs trade candidate this season.
So we're going to have a moan anyway? Even though all the things that you mentioned, we're going to have a moan.
I'm not moaning.
You were having a moan about Justin Hall and his bad season.
No.
And the fact that he's not named Jared McCann.
No, I actually wasn't going to do that.
Oh, what are you doing?
I wasn't, because the team's winning. I mean, they're fine.
Yeah.
But I do think every time I bring up Justin Hall, people get mad at me for bringing up Justin Hall because they think it pertains to that, because I had strong opinions on that.
Right.
Now it's in the past. You have Justin Hall. My question is, because they've got Mikheyev coming back, they've got some cap issues they got to sort out. Somebody's got to go. Is it Clifford going back down? And into the playoffs where Justin Hall did do well last year, do you want to lose that guy now? Really? 25 games in?
I don't think it makes much sense. Like, to even have him. Also, with the Leafs cap situation, I've stopped trying to figure it out. It's too difficult.
Because it always just works out somehow.
Yeah. Listen, they have a really smart guy in charge who literally made the rules, the very stupid, silly rules. Peter Mrazek is on the Marlies right now because of the rules, the very stupid, silly rules. So, like, I've stopped giving a shit. I've stopped caring about it. And I wait for the insiders to be like, the Leafs are cap strapped. And then I go, oh, no, they are? But then, Myrtle tweets something like, actually, they have $1 million in space. And I'm like, oh, see? Everything's fine. I told you.
And then somebody gets injured around, like, I don't know, mid-January. And we're like, oh, that frees up $4 million because they're on IR.
Yes.
And it's just free money.
Like, it's weird that Peter Mrazek, who was like a very big free agent signing, gets injured. And a small piece of the management team goes, yes,
More players.
yeah, let's get Kyle Clifford for free. What? Like, I don't understand
Injuries
any
are
of it.
going to happen. And apparently for the Leafs, injuries are great.
Yes. I assume Clifford goes down because why wouldn't he?
Yeah, because you can, right?
He's Kyle Clifford. Like, you don't need that.
Don't you?
No.
What do you mean?
Because why? Why do you need that?
Doesn't he add value?
You know
They
what would make
obviously
this
added him.
first place team better? Kyle Clifford. No. Why? How come? In the year of our Lord, 2021? This isn't 2014. Why? Why are we doing this? I don't understand. I did have a thought.
I'm sure you had several.
Oh, man. I did have 40,000 thoughts at the same time that I need drugs for. But let's talk about, so I did want to talk about another marginal Leaf who,
Joey Anderson?
no,
Nick Ritchie.
oh man, keep going through the marginal Leafs. We'll see if we get there.
Oh, man. Don't say Wayne Simmons.
No, that's
Okay.
not a marginal Leaf.
I don't think that's
Get
a
out of
marginal-
here.
I know. People are saying he's a marginal Leaf. And I was like, the Leafs Nation this morning had him at, well,
Yeah,
maybe you get rid of him.
nerds.
I'm like, no. Engvall?
No.
Eng Vegas, who actually scored, by the way?
Yeah, because he was playing really hard in a game that his team was winning 7-2.
Man, I love when he gets in on the action.
What's better than putting your fourth line on the ice? It's more mean to put the fourth line on the ice because they're still going to try.
Right.
You should put Matthews out there to just have a skate. He had a hat trick. He didn't care anymore.
So-
Yeah,
Is it-
keep his cardio up.
Yeah. Out there playing keep away, like it's a shinny game, and he's like, I already got my three.
To be fair, too, I think Colorado, like their goalie wasn't great, but I don't think beyond the first period they played all that well.
Colorado?
Yeah.
No.
No,
They
but
didn't.
that's a schedule game that the Leafs should lose. And in past seasons, a team that doesn't have this skill loses that game because you come off the road trip, you come
Yep.
back home. They don't get into Toronto, I believe, until 24 hours before game time.
It wasn't
over
a
the
ton of
trip.
time.
Yeah. So then you go there, and that's like, okay, Colorado's coming in. They're a very good team. We should probably drop to their AHL goalie. And the Leafs, to their credit, they stomped them. It was great.
Well, no, it should have been Kemper.
Yeah.
It was a scheduled Kemper start, and he hasn't been doing that great, but I assume he would have done better than that.
Yeah.
And what are you going to do? They left Matthews alone in front. I don't feel bad for them.
You wouldn't mean not Andre Kasha, would you?
He's not marginal.
I didn't think he was either. I'm
Okay.
like, who are you talking about?
This is why this player is gone. Adam you've said at least 6 or 7 names, and you haven't gotten to Kirill Semyonov yet. And he's gone. He's gone.
Yes, he is gone.
He was on unconditional waivers to...
I thought you were talking about current Leafs. He is not.
He is not. So we're talking about who's leaving. Well, he's one of them. And I saw a great tweet. I think it was Kemi. It's like, yeah, I think you see the writing on the wall when they get Kyle Clifford and put him in the lineup over you. And that was basically it. But I did have a thought with Mikheyev coming back soon. Is this going to eventually hurt them signing free agents? They went out and they got Mikko Lehtinen and then buried him. And they did find him a trade partner, but it didn't work here. And they get Alexander Barabanov, and to a lesser extent, they buried him. And it didn't work out here. And they did find a trade partner, but it didn't work out here. And they get Ilya Mikheyev, and it did work here, but he doesn't like it here, and he asked for a trade away from
Well,
here.
he's also been injured and had trouble finding a spot.
Been injured a couple times. Well, he's not going to have an easier time finding a spot. They're in first friggin' place. And then Kirill Semyonov, you can add to the list, who is also Ilya Mikheyev's friend. And I just feel like the KHL well is going to run dry And as I even say that, as those words come out of my mouth, I realize I don't care.
Well, I was gonna say like,
Adam,
what benefit?
we're gonna have such
man.
a hard time finding a 13th forward.
Where are we gonna get Igor Ozhiganov part 2?
Oh, add him to the list.
The list
God,
of
he
guys
was bad.
who want to
was.
sign with the Toronto Maple Leafs for above market value is a long list.
Yeah.
There will always be free agents who want to play for the Leafs.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Be like, and here's the thing about NHL players
That's
or
how
hockey
good
players.
things are for the Leafs.
Athletes would be like, yeah, well, he didn't make it, but I will.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, it could work for us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like what teams do with like a player that's been shifted around. It's like, you know what? He just doesn't have it. Well, you think he doesn't have it, but me, Galaxy Brain, says he does.
The former first round pick who hasn't worked out in 80 different markets, the next team, he's going to work here.
Hey, we're doing that with right now. I mean, it's not 80 different markets, but Josh Hosang's a rehab project that seems to be working out pretty
Alex
damn well.
Galchenyuk.
Alex,
Yeah.
I'm so
boy.
disappointed.
He worked out for a
flat
little.
out.
He did.
To me, he blew that.
He did.
Yeah.
He blew it.
And then
He blew it.
He blew
that's
it.
exactly it.
He had the Leafs offered him $1 million this summer, and he said no. I'd rather go back to Arizona.
Who reported that?
Was it CJ?
I don't know.
Somebody. I don't even know. Somebody reported that it was $1 million offer, and he wanted to go back to Arizona because that's where he's got a house. And it's like, dude, you just found your legs again.
I don't think that's what happened. I think what happened, well, okay, that might be what happened, and maybe money's not that important. But what I think happened is, because remember, $1 million is still less than what he was making last year.
Okay.
And he probably went, what? I did good for you. I'm not taking a haircut after all that.
Mm-hmm.
No. Well, maybe you should have.
Well, and
Because
this
he signed a PTO with Arizona.
exactly,
They don't
and
have
then I think,
people on
and
them.
then I think he signed. He hasn't played since November 29th, which wasn't that long
Half
ago.
the Coyotes don't have nameplates. Like,
Yeah.
they're not.
And he's averaging like his ice time's going down. I'm looking at it right now. 13 minutes, November 20th to 10 minutes versus Winnipeg, November 29th. Like,
What did he think? You're not playing with Tavares and Nylander. What's the matter with you? It's I don't know. If it's because he wanted to go to where he has his roots, perfectly fine. I understand that.
Maybe he thought he would have a better shot at playing higher up in the lineup, but even so,
with whom?
with who?
Right. But who are you taking out of this lineup for Galchenyuk? Because I'm very happy with what we got right now.
Oh, 100%.
At the beginning of the season, they probably, I don't know. Did they sign Richie?
Yes.
You think so?
Do. I think Nick Ritchie.
I think Nick Ritchie's not here, though, if Galch is here and playing the way he played last year. Is that fair?
Yeah. Or do they sign Bunting? Yeah, they probably still sign Bunting.
They definitely signed Bunting.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a tough one.
You know?
Okay, this is the great thing about the Leafs right now, though. Do you see how I'm trying to find things to complain about? And I can't.
Right. Well, I did want to throw this out there, too, and people are unfairly doing this, but Michael Bunting has more points, I believe, than Zach Hyman.
Yep. Noted bad player. Noted non-hat trick haver. Zach Hyman. Did you see that?
Yeah, I did. The Penguins defenseman got in the way, and he couldn't get his empty net hat trick from McDavid.
No, but he had his hat trick goal called back for offside.
Oh, yes.
I think it was noted Sportsnet employee Alyssa Turner basically saying, imagine throwing your $35 hat on the ice only for the goal to be called
I'd be
back.
so mad. So mad.
Poor guy.
Yeah. He's having a good time.
Oh, meanwhile, on the way here, I was listening to the latest episode of the Chris Johnston Show, and he was talking about Zach Hyman having a really good shot at making Team Canada. Getting the Chris Kunitz role.
I don't hate that.
I don't
It's
hate
a great
it either.
idea.
I really don't.
Also a genuinely good person, from what we hear. You want that.
I do feel like that's really important. I feel like it's important in general.
But in a
for the
2-week
Olympics
gelling thing,
Well, in a 2-week thing where you're going to be in China and isolated from everybody because of COVID, yeah, it's good to have just dudes who are kind of low maintenance and cool, which he definitely is, and God, I miss him.
yeah, it's interesting.
But anyway, Michael Bunting better.
Not necessarily, but it's just people are throwing that out there. Now, I
Yes.
do want to throw this at you.
What do you want to throw?
Oh, Jess, did you want to say something?
No.
Okay, I do want to move off the Leafs unless you guys have anything else to say.
Well, throw it at me, Adam. Are you going to throw it at me like a Habs jersey onto the ice?
There is we will get to that. Don't worry. But I
How was
wanted
the
to give
Leafs
you
jersey
some.
thrown
I want to
onto
give
the
you
ice
some
this
trivia
season?
because that's where we're going.
Sure.
Milan Lucic has how many goals this year?
6.
4.
7.
Hey, that's pretty good.
Good work, Jesse.
Wow.
That is more goals than every single Montreal Canadien except for who?
So Foley?
Gallagher.
Josh Anderson, who as of last night is out 2 to 4 weeks.
Oh, no.
The most next to that is Tyler Toffoli with 5. And it's just come out as of the recording of this podcast that Jeff Petrie is also out.
Yeah.
After just coming back. You know,
And they're trying to move Mr. Ben C.
Oh,
Mr.
Ben Sherratt?
Yeah.
Who has like 5 goals
Yeah, he does.
Yeah.
and is bad defensively.
Okay, so
I'm never gonna
I
forgive the
kid you
goddamn
not.
Leafs.
I kid you not. Eric Engels, and we got to have Eric on to talk about this. They were talking about this morning on Sportsnet Central about the press conference and stuff like that. There's a lot going on in Montreal this week, and he was saying that teams are calling for Sherratt already, and the expectation is going to be a first-round pick.
Yeah.
Well, because who cares how he's doing this year? I was making fun of him being bad defensively because his numbers are bad. They're not acquiring him for the regular season. They're acquiring him for the playoffs, and they saw him go to the Stanley Cup final. He was worth a first-round pick in May. You know what I mean? So it's the price just hasn't gone down. That's all.
Wow. Couldn't believe it. But it makes sense. Now, the guy that tossed his jersey on the ice, and credit to Julian McKenzie of the STPN and The Athletic for being the guy to catch it, because I guess it was Julian's tweet that went viral.
It was. Sportsnet used it in their graphic.
The guy that tossed the Canadiens jersey onto the ice called into a French language radio station afterwards as one of their call-in shows. And he said, the reason I did it is because the price of beer and tickets hasn't gone down and the product's garbage. I've had enough. And it kills me because 24 games ago,
They were in the Stanley Cup final.
yeah.
Also,
Isn't it crazy how quickly that changed? And I think it's because they're looking down a pretty long road of no hope here. I think Montreal Canadiens fans are smart.
Really not. They're
Well, I mean,
really
they've got a
not.
loaded prospect system, do they not? Or are they supposed to?
They do, and also like, okay, there's bad by accident, right? And there's a few teams that are like that, and then there's bad by like act of God. And like, what scenario would allow the Montreal Canadiens to be good this year? Shea Weber's gone. Okay, so you look at like managerial decisions, Deneau leaving and Kotkaniemi leaving. And the Dvorak trade, which should probably be getting a lot more criticism because they gave up their first round pick in that stupid trade. But
Not their first round pick.
Carolina's.
You're right.
Yeah, because
You're
their
right.
first round pick is going to be top 3 in Montreal when they draft the first overall. Or
Still bad.
Man, they could have got Sherratt for that.
So they'll get that first round pick back. So anyway, those 3 things are managerial. Carey Price not playing yet had nothing to do with anything. Shea Weber being out the entire year had nothing to do with anything. Josh Anderson being out 2 to 4 weeks.
It's just a bad hit.
Jeff Petrie. How were they ever supposed to be good? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The Canucks iced a team
fully healthy.
And were dog shit, and management went, oh. But like Montreal went out there and was bad, and we're all like, yeah. Because look at everything they've had to go through.
Yeah.
It's awful.
The problem is that Carey Price, the chances of Carey Price ever playing is it wrong?
Are we going to do this again?
50 games of Carey Price? Are we going to get 50 games out of that? And you know what was crazy?
I learned my lesson last playoffs.
Pierre LeBrun floated yesterday that what might solve the Avalanche goalie woes is Carey Price.
No way.
Wait. And he's the first person I've heard talk about that. But I don't know in what I'm not sure if that means that there have been a discussion. I'm sure there hasn't been.
When did NHL GM start treating goalies like it's Yahoo Fantasy? Like, all right, we're going to give $1 bajillion to Matt Murray. He's bad. Never mind. We're going to give some money to Braden Holtby. He's bad. Never mind. We're going to give some money to Darcy Kemper. He's bad. Never mind. Like, this isn't Do you get 4 waiver claims a week in the NHL? Is that how this works? No, that's Yahoo Fantasy. Can you tell that's what I do?
This is your first year playing fantasy.
Yes,
Yeah.
in a very long time.
Yeah.
Can you? Yeah. What is with all these teams handing out money to goalies and then immediately abandoning that goalie?
I don't know.
You just got Kemper. You traded for him.
They also have a starting goalie in Pavel Francouz who hasn't played yet, but he's coming back
He's
in
good.
like a month.
He's good. He's just hurt all the time.
Yeah.
He's like the right catching Peter Mrazek. And he's
Well,
a good goalie.
And if there's anything we know about the Montreal Canadiens is that trades involving legendary goaltenders to the Avalanche always work out really well. So, I think we need to repeat history on that one for sure.
Why? Man, that is maybe the biggest example of it being a copycat league. I didn't even think about that.
Crazy, right? Bit of a parallel.
Why of all the shrewd moves Joe Sakic has made, he's going to trade for a $10.5 million goalie.
I don't think that's happening.
Me neither.
No.
Well, I think it depends on where Montreal wants to go with this. Obviously, I don't think that's going to happen. But
No, I think the contract is a non-starter.
No, they got to
For
pull
how
their head
long
out of their ass defensively.
Yeah.
Is what they got to do. Give Kemper a chance. If you're playing your best, you need the Avalanche need to play their best hockey in order to evaluate their goaltending situation, and then they can figure out what they need to do. They're not a goalie away from contending based on what I've seen. Mm-hmm. They need to be way better.
This podcast is sponsored by BetterHelp Online Therapy. You can check out betterhelp.com/SDP. Now, life is full of stressors. We know that. It can be your family. It can be your job. It could be your partner and what's going on in their life. And you might have no control over it. If you're feeling a little down and out or depressed, maybe like you're like a total loss. Maybe your stress is high. Maybe your temper's shorter than usual. It could be anything. Unload your stress, get it out, and talk to someone with a completely unbiased view about your life. Someone who isn't going to judge you or take sides on anything. They just want to help. And when there are things that you can't tell anyone, BetterHelp is the place to go. BetterHelp is customized online therapy that offers video, phone, and even live chat sessions with your therapist, so you don't even have to see anyone on camera if you don't want to. It's much more affordable than in-person therapy, and you can start communicating with your therapist in under 48 hours. Unload the stressors and get some unbiased feedback that you'd be pretty surprised, actually, what you can gain from this. This podcast is sponsored by BetterHelp, and Steve Dangle Podcast listeners get 10% off their first month at betterhelp.com/SDP. That's BetterHelp.com/SDP. Life's busy, and sometimes it's kind of difficult to catch up with all the headlines every single night. Because, you want to bet on these games. You want to make sure you're making the right bets. You want to make sure you have all the information. But of course, again, it's kind of hard when you've got life. Maybe you've got kids. You definitely have a job. You definitely have a lot of work to do. So here's the thing. Check out BetMGM tonight, presented by BetMGM. BetMGM tonight is a high-energy live destination for casual and hardcore sports fans alike. It's engaging, it's polarizing, it's relevant. Get caught up on sports betting world with a heavy dose of entertainment. Hosts Quentin Mayo, Trista Crick, and Ryan Horvat are joined by on-site correspondents to bring you the insider information you need in real time. Every detail matters, and you know that. BetMGM dives deeper to help give you the edge. It's BetMGM tonight, presented by BetMGM. Listen on Audacity, Spotify, or your favorite podcast app. So I brought up all that Montreal stuff to ask you guys this. How great does Vancouver management feel about what's going on in Montreal right now?
Why?
Because all last week,
It's a distraction?
all we talked about was them. And if it had kept going, if the pressure had kept going, I think they'd be gone this week.
Oh, it's awesome.
But because Bergevin was let go this weekend, because Gorton was hired, nobody's talking about the Vancouver Canucks, who, by the way, beat up on the Senators last night, who, by the way, started the season saying the rebuild's over, we're ready to win now.
No, last night, Anton Forsberg beat the Carolina Hurricanes. The Hurricanes don't lose often, but when they do, it's to bad teams. It's true. Look at who they lost to. It's weird. They've lost to them. They've lost to Seattle. But no, it was the night before they killed them. It was like 6-2.
Oh, was it Vancouver? Was that the night before?
Yeah,
I get that
Vancouver has
wrong?
beaten Montreal and Ottawa. And Darren
that's what it
Dreger
was.
was on Sakaris and Price, and he's like, I don't know, a couple wins, maybe. Maybe management feels like they don't need to do anything. And I was just like, oh.
Against bad teams. I think, here's the thing, too. The Canucks schedule, you're playing the Penguins. They're no joke, ever. Although they haven't been great this year. But then you've got the Kings, better. Bruins,
Struggling.
Jets.
They're middle of the pack.
Yeah.
They haven't really found their game.
Like, they don't really have a test until the Hurricanes on December 12th. Like a real first place test. And the very impressive Columbus Blue Jackets on the 14th.
That's right. Very impressive Columbus
Like
Blue
it's
Jackets.
it's not the toughest schedule for the Canucks. Jim Benning and co. may survive based on that.
Or
If you can split that.
or do you see how low the goddamn bar is?
I know. I'm
Like,
just saying. That's why I brought up Montreal. I brought up all that Montreal stuff to say no one's talking about Vancouver. And by the way, they're still bad accidentally, which is the worst kind of bad.
All I heard you say is, over the next month, they could make their first rounder worse. That's all I heard you say.
Mm-hmm.
All they could do is, they could make their first rounder worse.
Yep, they could.
Do they even have their first rounder, or is that Arizona's now?
Oh, hang on. Let's
I think
find
it's
out.
protected because every GM, no matter how bad, is at least
Well,
smart enough to do that.
Listen, if you're a former Leafs GM, you're probably not. No, they do have their first rounders for the next 3 years.
Okay.
No second rounder. It was traded away July 23rd, which I believe was the Ekman-Larson trade.
Yes.
Yeah.
I
So
was trying to find the quote from the Aquilinis where they're like, a couple of wins stabilized this. Did you see that?
did they say that?
No
way.
Like 2 days ago?
Are you sure it was the Aquilinis? I thought it was Dreger talking about what he thinks the Aquilinis are thinking.
So it was Dreger not quoting the Aquilinis, but Dreger speculating about what they think of the situation.
Yeah, on
Okay.
Sakaris and Price. I retweeted it yesterday, I think.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I was looking for.
By the way, if you're in the Vancouver area, support those guys because they're doing it on their own now, and it's pretty flippin' amazing what they've done.
Absolutely.
I was surprised at how quickly people moved off of that. You got it?
Yeah, it
What's
was
that?
Darren Dreger saying a couple of wins, maybe the Aquilinis are happy to stand pat. It's starting to feel that way. There you go.
I think it was less satisfaction with the team and more wanting to kick the can down the road and not making a decision they're going to regret.
Well, and then remember too, like when you have to replace a GM and a coach, the new guys are still going to suck. Like not that the GM and the coach are going to be reflected in that, but like, you have to replace them. And then if you're the Aquilinis, you also have to pay them. You're paying out Benning, you're paying out Travis Green. I think they're both in the last year of their deal, but all the same, do you want to double pay up the salary when you're already going to suck and they're gone anyway?
There's a lot of interesting opportunity for shuffling this year because like a team like, you know who I think could be really interesting trade partners? Two teams who had very active off seasons who did not expect to suck. So they wouldn't be purely buy or purely sell deals. The Vancouver Canucks making some sort of deal with the Philadelphia Flyers, I think, makes a lot of sense. They're two teams in similar spots
Okay.
to me.
What kind of deal?
Great question.
Like shuffling deck chairs on the Titanic or...
Well, okay, I'm trying to think of names that have been out there. The Flyers haven't had as many names out there, but like the Canucks, JT Miller, people are talking about. Bo Horvat was a name that was out there, but I don't really see that happening. Brock Besser is a name that's been out there in the past. I don't know. I just feel like there could be a
As an aside, the fact that the Flyers are not good again. At what point, and maybe I'm wrong here, and maybe Flyers fans can correct me, was Ron Hextall maybe right?
Oh yeah. Well, right in the big picture. I think too many people limited their perception of Ron Hextall's departure from Philly to the handling of Carter Hart,
Right.
who was real bad last year and real good this year.
Yep.
To the point where he may even play for Team Canada, may even start. That snowman's just going to keep falling down on the YouTube side. And just stand up!
He can lie down. What are you doing to his backside?
Oh yeah, what was that?
I was trying to... He's got a rounded spot, and I was trying to tuck it up under.
Oh, you're trying to make it kind of flat.
Yeah.
It's called his bum.
Yeah, I was trying to flatten his bum. Stop it.
If I pound the table...
For the
All right.
Flyers, they weren't good last year.
No.
And their moves to get better were bringing in Ristolainen and Martin Jones.
Ryan Ellis, who's been hurt.
And Ryan Ellis, who is on LTIR now.
Man.
And Keith Yandel.
Nobody...
Where's the big improvement for the Flyers?
So you got 20 or 75% of what you did is objectively questionable.
Martin Jones has been okay. He has been. No, I get it.
Yeah, but
listen,
like,
I'm moving the goalposts.
Given Martin Jones's 820 save percentage over the last couple of years, you can understand why it might be like that's a questionable move.
Yeah.
Ryan Ellis is great, but I think Ryan Ellis's body's falling apart on him.
He's not playing, so who cares if he's great? He's injured.
That was the
press box.
concern. It was the concern heading.
So like nobody held a gun to their head.
Right.
They didn't have to make these moves. Why? Why Rasmus Ristolainen?
Wow. Well, and for a pretty penny too. That was a good move by Kevin Adams. I would like to.
Kevin Adams wants to be a
How many
Sabre.
games has Ryan Ellis played this year?
5.
4.
Oh,
boy.
How many years is he signed to?
5.
Past this year.
5.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more years.
Oh. After this year?
Yeah.
Oh, so that's essentially 6.
Yeah.
I would like to remove Rick Bowness from the gold medal spot on my coach who's going to be fired first. And I would like to place Alain Vigneault on the top of the podium there. I think that's a thing that could happen sooner rather than later.
He's won a lot. Like won a lot. It's a lot of regular season success, deep
When?
playoff runs.
When?
A long time ago.
Yeah.
But is he I don't think I've heard
A good coach?
I don't think I've heard a single good thing about him personally. Like, I mean, and I don't mean that. Sorry, I don't mean like. I'm sure he's a nice person, but like in terms of his coaching style, people seem to hate it.
No, he's not popular. And it's like the Ken Hitchcock thing. Like supposedly a lot of players didn't really like him, and the way Mike Rupp described having Pat Burns.
Oh man,
That sounded awful. That sounded terrifying.
If you drank last night, you'll never play in the league again.
Yeah. Oh, it's so good. It's so good.
Man,
And you gotta
more Pat Burns stories, please. I love Pat Burns.
All Pat Burns stories sound like a police officer who happened to be a very good coach, which is literally what Pat Burns was.
Yeah, yeah.
He was a cop, and then they're like, "You're an NHL coach," and he's like, "I'm an NHL coach," and then he won several Stanley Cups that way. You know, things that make sense.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, I don't know any like NBA or NFL stories where they're like, "This guy used to be a firefighter, and now he won the Super Bowl." Like, I don't know any of those. It's weird, right?
Pat Burns.
It's weird.
Yeah, Pat Burns should be it should be a movie.
Yeah. Oh,
Pat Burns
100%.
should be a movie.
I'd watch it. I'd watch
series.
the Mike Rupp scene.
Oh man,
You drink last night? Did you drink last night? If you drank last night, you'll never play in the fucking NHL again. Okay. All right, you're in tonight.
who would play? Who would play Pat Burns though? Who's got the eyes for that? Because he had the David Clarkson, Darcy Tucker, terrifying glare thing going on. Who could even do that?
Ron Swanson.
Oh,
No. What's his name?
What, the guy that plays
Nick Offerman?
Yeah.
Nah, too old.
too old?
Too old, I
Yeah,
think.
huh?
But like,
You need that.
It's just we
need
need to find
intensity.
another. I mean, someone else can grow a mustache. We'll work on it.
Okay.
We'll work on
No,
it.
it's a tough
anyway,
one.
where did that question come from? Oh yeah, Alain Vigneault. So I feel like that the bad cop shtick works if you're good, and they're not. So what do you do there? Michel Therrien, who is his assistant coach, by the way, is a famous bad cop, and people tolerate it when they're winning. As soon as you're bad, get out of here. So that's why I think Vigneault's time is
The Flyers brand, the identity is the Broad Street Bullies, right? It's
they don't play like that.
They don't play like that,
At
and
all.
and sometimes it's going to sound really stupid, but there are teams that play like their city.
And the Bruins, through good and bad,
Play
do
like
that.
they play like the Bruins, right? You're a Bruin, you know what to do.
And they have for over a decade.
The Flyers, when they were good, even when and Flyers have always had terrible luck with goaltending. It's hilarious that they finally have good goaltending
They have
and
a
nothing
brand.
else works.
We're assholes who can't stop the puck.
Yeah, 100%.
And sometimes it works.
But
It's true.
what I think is interesting with that is like, how do you have a team like the Flyers and they're not scary? They're not scary.
They're not scary at
There's
all.
nothing scary about the Philadelphia Flyers.
Radko Gudas, that's it.
And it's like Radko Gudas 4 years ago might have been a lot scarier. But Radko Gudas is a fringe NHL player now.
Well, like I look at Radko Gudas the way I look at like Adam McQuaid with the
Yes,
Bruins.
yes.
And it's like, okay, you're not that scary in a vacuum. You're really scary when the guy on the other side of the ice is Zdeno Chara. Like, I remember there was a scrum. It was like 2011, 2012 when they were just terrorizing the league. There was a scrum, and someone decided to stick up for themselves, which was just a bad business move. And it was like they were going up against Adam McQuaid, which one-on-one you might not win that fight. And then Chara and Lucic joined the fray with like Marchand going, let me at him. And whoever was in the middle, it doesn't matter. Maybe the one resident good guy on the ice, Patrice Bergeron, who will caress you. If every Bruin scrum you were going for Bergeron. Nope, that's my dance partner. That's my guy.
Of course, that's terrifying.
Yes, that's awful. That would regularly be a trio on the ice that they had. Oh. I didn't even mention Sean Thornton. Like, I didn't even.
And here's the thing
so
about
many guys,
with the exception of McQuaid, and no offense to him, those guys, all of them, Chara, Marchand, Lucic, were dominant hockey players.
Oh yeah,
like incredible skill.
Oh yeah,
and two of them will be Hall of Famers. I think Marchand's going in the Hall of Fame, and I think Zdeno Chara's going in the Hall of Fame.
Chara for sure. Marchand, that's interesting.
I think he's going to the Hall of Fame.
Yeah. Marchand's in the Hall of Fame, yeah.
He's got a resume. I don't know his career numbers. He does have hardware.
He sure does. And if not, he's going to the Boston Hall of Fame, which might mean more to him, to be honest with you.
100%.
It's a
328 career goals, 411 assists. That's 739 points.
So he's probably going to be 1,000.
In how many games?
1,000 points. He's 822.
How old is he? He's older than you think.
33. He's not older than I think.
Really?
I think that's how old I think he is.
I thought he was 34. Okay.
No, 33.
Who's 33? Old. Piece of garbage.
1,000 games, 1,000 points, Stanley Cups, gold medals,
Yeah.
Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
He's a Hall of Famer.
Slewfoots,
Slewfoot.
shitty attitude,
Licking.
piss baby.
Piss baby.
Yeah.
Diaper filler.
I'd still fucking love him if he was a Leaf, though.
Hell
Not
yeah,
gonna lie.
of course.
I would love him.
Bunting on the Coyotes, garbage, piece of shit. Bunting on the Leafs, great, adorable.
I'm just saying the Flyers have got to figure out a direction. It can't be piecemeal anymore. You have Carter Hart, you have him forever and ever, you make sure he stays. Everything else to me is fluid. Him and Provorov, right? Provorov's big and scary. He's big.
He's big.
He's scary to play against.
Could
I wouldn't
be
want
scary.
to
Scary potential.
but I would want that. What the Flyers to me always have or should have is like a swagger.
Oh, hell yeah.
Like my era of Flyers was like the Legion of Doom. John LeClaire, Eric Lindros, Michael Renberg. That was Rod Brindamore. Like that was wasn't Sammy Kapanen? No, Sammy Kapanen was later.
Eric Desjardins.
Oh.
And Darian Hatcher. Well, Darian Hatcher I think was later too.
Yeah, Desjardins.
that era he would have been on the Stars.
Yep.
Yeah. But Eric Desjardins.
Absolutely. Incredible players.
Yep.
And I just think there's a je ne sais quoi that's missing.
I know what you mean. No, like that shouldn't be a difficult team to build around.
No.
It's okay. You could get two good scores.
Here's what you had. 97, okay?
Okay.
LeClaire, Coffey, Lindros, Zubris, Howard-Chuck, Sillinger, Yanni Nienema, who was really good.
Yeah.
And Vaclav Prospal. That's just some of the team players on that team.
And those are like underrated players who were big.
And Ron Hextall, who's scary.
Yes.
Big. Underrated players who were what?
Big.
Exactly.
Prospal, Zubris. Dana Zubris, very underrated player.
100%. Yes.
Also just a really fun name.
Yes. And I this is the thing. Like I'm not saying that you go full like goon squad, but the Flyers should be the fucking Flyers, and they're just not, and they haven't been for a long time.
No, you're so right.
And even when Jake Voracek was at his best, that team that felt like the Flyers to me. Because they were fuckers to play against, man.
Yes, fuckers. That's absolutely right. Like even to the media.
Yes.
They don't have anyone. They need people to be assholes to the local reporters. Then they'll feel like the Flyers. They got rid of Voracek. They lost their whole identity. They're way too polite. They got it. Hey, Jakob, I was just wondering. Fuck you. They need
Next
that.
question, because it was stupid.
Yeah. Eat shit.
Giroux was a pain in the ass back in the day. I know. So Konechny is another guy who's a fucker. But he's got nobody else around. You need several fuckers to be a fucker team.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, and you need fucker enablers. Marchand is Marchand because he had enablers. He was a fucker who had enablers.
Who could protect him.
Yeah.
You might want to go after Marchand, but you're going to have to deal with Zdeno.
He'd give you a stick, he'd give you a trip, and he'd give you a chirp, and you'd be like, why, yada, and then it would just be like a Bugs Bunny like cloud around you with fists coming in and out of it. And then like you'd forget about it. And like a month later, you'd try it again, and a bunch of fists would come out, and it'd be you all know the dust cloud that I'm talking about. And he kept doing it because he was enabled forever. Travis Konechny needs to be enabled.
Yes.
For the Flyers to do well.
And they don't all have to be big. Like Morgan Frost is there. You've got, you do have some players that, but like, I'm not looking at this lineup and going, ooh, I'm spooked. Like how much are you going to lay at the feet of Nate Thompson? Nate Thompson's 4 years older than me.
Is he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Born in 84, man. We're aging out of the NHL real quick here, by the way. It's kind of scary.
Bullshit.
Don't like that.
This is bullshit.
And I'm looking on their defense. Ristolainen, Sanheim, Provorov, Ellis is out, Justin Braun, like Keith Yandel, who's at the tail end of his career. Like, not seeing it, guys.
They need to make some tough decisions. And I think this summer they did. Mm-hmm. And then they sort of undid them. But like, okay, I guess what I'm getting to is at some point, I do think the Claude Giroux era is going to end there. And if it's not, I think he needs to be pushed down the lineup a little bit because second line Claude Giroux, I think, could be a problem. But I just think he has to carry too much. But I think the biggest issue is their lack of identity. You're right. Mm-hmm. That's a guy who's a fucker.
Who's that? Giroux?
Giroux, he's a fucker.
He's a fucker, for sure. But he can't be a fucker on his own.
No.
Some people can. Tom Wilson can be a fucker on his own.
Fucker by committee.
But Tom Wilson's the special case because he can be that fucker, right? Who else is who else they have? They had Lars Eller on that team on the Capitals.
Bit of a fucker.
But is Lars Eller as effective without Tom Wilson?
Brett Connolly and Devontae Smith-Pelly were down the lineup fuckers. Yeah,
Jerks.
Right?
Yeah.
Just fuckers.
And you know what? When you're watching them, like I remember Leo
Matt
Komarov.
Niskanen, fucker.
Yes! Before he retired during COVID, I forgot.
Yes.
Leo Komarov, the first time he was here in 2013, he was one of the first guys I could remember since like Darcy Tucker who would get under players' skin and go them all game.
And what happened?
They would be distracted and they'd play like shit and he'd win.
Well, and also, he was enabled.
He was enabled.
Because Fraser McLaren and Colton Orr, the dust cloud.
The 4 minutes a game that they would play?
It was hilarious. But there were... Listen, should it be allowed? Probably not. But as long as it is, you should use it.
See, the fighting thing is, to me, is you've already passed the point of no return at that point. It's what you do before the fight. It's the needling. Because you don't need to fight somebody to get in their head.
Yeah.
Right?
No, the needling...
If I'm a pain in the ass for a while, it's gonna bother you.
The needling is what makes teams worse. It's the fighting that enables the needling.
Oh, okay. Okay.
We're figuring this out.
By the way,
Did we just solve hockey?
Florida Panthers points percentage, by the way, are number 1 in the NHL right now.
I saw a very funny tweet.
What's that?
The Sabres were up 3-0 on the Florida Panthers.
Oh, no.
And Dwayne, we all know Dwayne, big Buffalo Sabres fan Dwayne, just goes, if Aaron Dell can't park this in the garage, we need to leave him in Florida. And the next update I saw was Panthers lead 6-4. You know what's funny? They won 7-4.
Man, that's rough. But
it's okay.
Rough.
They got Malcolm Subban.
Yeah. Well, Kevin Weeks' tweet on that was really funny. He's like, big trade incoming. And I'm like, and then it's like Malcolm Subban.
Remember when like Eunice Korpisalo was available? Columbus is like, they're too good. They're too good to get rid of them. So if you're the Sabres, here's the thing. The Sabres are actually not that bad. They're really not. Oh, the record says they're bad.
Yeah.
They're really not that bad, but they can't stop the puck. They can't. and their great hope is Craig Anderson when he returns from injury? For God's sake, go get a goalie.
Hey, Jesse.
Have some pride.
Yeah.
If you can't stop a puck, are you good?
No.
Okay, the team around the dudes who can't stop a puck.
And by the way, speaking of which, I just to interrupt you, Jesse. Jesse, the true general manager of the Buffalo Sabres.
Oh, that's right.
Where do we stand?
We lost Game 7 of the Stanley Cup Finals.
Jesus.
I
watched.
Up 2-0.
It hurt.
And then we lost.
Did it hurt?
Oh,
How did
yeah.
you actually feel?
You were up-
No, it was terrible.
Oh, you look gutted.
Yeah, I had an angry stream on Wednesday. I did like an hour before the game. I wanted Adam Fox and Austin Matthews on our team, and I couldn't pry them away from either team.
Either of them?
I was very upset. So then I went out and I spent $12 million on
Keeping in mind, this is 2026.
2025
So
offseason.
is the salary cap coming up at this point?
Yeah. The salary caps I think is at like 90 million.
Okay.
Or 95 million, I should say.
Not that
It's,
much more. Okay.
There's no COVID in video games.
And
And we're waiting tonight to see if any of our big deals come through.
the $12 million?
So
Who did you offer $12 million to?
Hold on. Let me see who I offered it to.
What Jesse failed to mention is they blew a lead in Game 6 too.
Oh!
It was I offered it to Rantanen because I knew it was somebody. I didn't want to say the wrong name off of Colorado.
Oh.
But yeah, Rantanen was a free agent. I offered him $12 million, and we'll see if that comes through.
$12 million for Rantanen?
Yeah, because Adam Fox, who was also a free agent, he wanted $14 million. I was like, that's a
Oh
little
my
too pricey.
God.
Yeah, the prices have gone up because the salary cap's gone up. But yeah, we'll see tonight if that comes.
You
through.
know, it'd be funny to see if we can keep track of some of these contracts that are signed in Jesse's game. I don't know. Nobody will, but it would be kind of funny to see how accurate some of these. Because when Adam Fox comes up, tell me if the salary cap's up. Tell me Adam Fox isn't worth $14 million a year. He's the best young defenseman in the league. And they can't find right shot defensemen in this league.
No, his contract didn't he just sign 8 years?
Yeah. Oh, sorry. Yeah. I guess he did.
There have been so many like very large deals, but because they were just
he
sort
did.
of tweeted and that's it, like you forgot about them. You know, Charlie McAvoy signed.
Yes, he did. So I guess when Adam Fox is up in 8 years, I could see $14 million
Oh yeah, oh yeah,
easily.
Didn't Zibanejad sign like a bunch of?
Yeah, he did.
Been a bunch of huge deals that just sort of
Kind of slipped under.
cruised in there.
Yeah, so it's been a wild one. Anyway, Jesse, I'm so sorry. So you,
That's all right.
When do we find out? Tonight?
Yeah, tonight we have another stream. I just want to know when the Red Dead stream is happening.
Yeah, me too.
Ooh. At some point, I've been thinking about it a lot. I've been thinking. I want to
Doing
do
a lot of thinking.
I could have
here's-
sworn he said that last time we brought it up.
Here's
Yeah, I've been thinking
what
about it a lot.
Here, you know, well, you've been, well, you've had your feet up playing sick. I've been thinking about Sean Maguire and Red Dead. All right. I want to do. Here's what I want to do, and I've never done this. I want to do Red Dead, a 100% playthrough. I've never done a 100% playthrough. Do all the challenges and everything. It's going to take until I'm 39. It's gonna take forever. A 100% playthrough.
So what is? I don't know what that means. You keep saying that.
Okay, so you have
Complete
to
every task.
Yeah, you have to
It's over 100 hours.
observe and hunt every animal. Get every 3-star pelt. Get every item of clothing. Get every satchel. Thank you, Mr. Pearson. Shout out, Simon Pearson. You have to finish all the challenges. You have to rob X amount of people. You got to do gunslinger challenges. You got to shoot 5 birds on a moving train. You gotta do gambling challenges. You gotta
Poker? Yeah, you got to play poker.
Yeah, I did one of them recently. You gotta bust people at 3 different poker locations. Flatneck Station, busted. Saint Denis, busted. Valentine, you know I busted them. I can't wait to do this. I really can't.
Okay, I'm very excited.
can't
I also want to see you rob a train.
Maybe I should do it. Should I do one this weekend?
It's tough to rob a train. Yeah, why not? Why wouldn't you? What do you have to do?
Fuck you. All right? I've had enough.
Yeah, it didn't let me back.
I was going to have some free time, and then my son very selfishly decided to get an ear infection.
What a jerk.
So we'll see.
Hey, Jesse.
Yes.
Should we just get to the... I guess I just wanted to quickly mention Winter Classic jerseys. I have one question.
That was going to be the first question in the press conference. So
Let's get into it.
The Presser. SDP. The Steve Dangle Press Conference.
All right, quick thing before we get going here. According to Lance Lasowski, who is with the Buffalo News, the Sabres are winless in their last 10 games against the Hurricanes. Buffalo's last win over Carolina occurred March 22nd, 2016.
Wow.
it's a long time ago.
Carlo Koliakovo, Evander Kane, and Johan Larsson scored for the Sabres.
Wow.
Isn't that kind of crazy? Just a bit of a time warp. Yeah.
That's crazy. Carlo Koliak was a morning show host in Toronto.
Yeah.
For any Sabres fans listening to this.
So the question was about the Winter Classic jerseys, right?
What do you guys think of the Nashville Predators and Tampa Bay Lightning's new Winter Classic jerseys?
The Tampa Bay Lightning jerseys are fine.
Yeah, I like them.
I like them. The Nashville jersey is the one that everyone's talking about. So let me just tell you, the Nashville jerseys are actually really good without glasses. And then the second you focus on them, you're like, what the fuck did they... What? It's like an adult design the jersey and let their toddler design the last 10%.
Yeah, I think they got the sweater part right. They didn't get the logo right.
Just the design. No, like I kind of like the logo in the middle, and I like the nameplate's fine. The arms are fine, but they have the letters are different. Why are the letters different? Why are they all different sizes? And then someone explained again. It's always the explanation. No, it's like I think it's like a music poster where some letters are bigger and some letters are smaller and all smooshed. And no, it looks like shit. It looks good on a poster. It looks shit on a sweater.
Yeah, and it's not going to show up well. Like, it's also like, if you look at how it's going to pop on the ice, excuse me, I don't think it's going to look good at all.
The letters go out. Okay, you know how it's the yellow like belt and then the blue letters?
Yeah.
The blue letters go above the belt. Boo. What is this shit?
Greg Wyshynski had a tweet, and he did say that the jerseys are always bad for these. And he's mostly right.
But the Tampa Bay Lightning got it right. I love the Bolts jersey.
I do too.
That's true.
That's an awesome jersey.
Yeah, we focus on the bad. And honestly, this jersey would be fine if they just made the letters normal. It'd be fine.
And I feel like the explanation comes after the fact. You know, somebody designed it and then was like, "Oh, this is why it's designed like that."
Yeah. It's like what do they call it? Shooting an arrow and painting a bullseye around it.
Right.
Yeah, it looks cool, and also there's a story to it. No, we all look at it and go, "What the fuck is this?" And then they have to explain, and then some people go, "Oh, okay," and then most people go, "Oh, it's still fucking stupid."
Still sucks.
Yo, I wish I'd known about the New Jersey Devil shoes, the Jersey shoes those are sick.
Those are cool as shit. I really like those. Yeah, the Winter Class. That's a really cool jersey.
Like
for the Bolts.
The Lightning one?
Oh, it's great.
I love that.
Clean.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Real
That's a
good.
Great sweater.
Real good. They made a jersey for a Florida-based team that fits perfectly into winter.
Yeah.
It's winter themed.
I also want to say that I feel like that jersey, that style of jersey, is what Team Canada needs to move to.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because you like the Canada Cup jersey.
I do. I love that.
It's very reminiscent of that.
Yeah, I think they need to get back to that. Why aren't they? Oh, by the way, did you guys mention on the show that the reason we can't use the Canada hockey logo is because the IOC says you can't use a logo?
No, we didn't bring it up.
So essentially, a bunch of people messaged me, and they're like, the reason they can't use the Hockey Canada logo is because it's a corporate logo, and you can't use that in the Olympics. Mm-hmm. And I would say Hockey Canada is a not-for-profit, but what do I know?
The Olympics are the least fun thing in the entire world.
You can't use our highlights.
Until the Olympics begin.
Yeah, and then they're great.
But as soon as they end,
They go back to
instantly
sucking.
goes back to the least enjoyable thing. For 2 weeks every 4 years, the Olympics don't suck.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you know they're phony about all of that corporate stuff because the Olympics are an amateur sport competition until it comes to the big name athletes we want in our sport to watch the games.
100%. And
you're an NBA player, you can play here,
It
even
should.
though this is for amateur athletes.
Yeah.
well, but you know the reason it was supposed to be for amateur athletes, right?
Why?
The guy that founded the Olympics hated poor people. I'm not kidding. The guy didn't like it's not the Olympics in Athens. The guy that brought him back in the late 1800s was a man of the aristocracy, and the way to keep poor people out was to make sure that only amateur athletes competed, because amateur athletes had to come from rich families. Because they were the only ones with the privilege to be able to devote the amount of time that you would need and not have to have a job. So that principle in and of itself, the fact that it's quote unquote amateur, to me is so elitist and bullshit.
Oh, yeah.
We need to get rid of it. Let the pros play. That's fine. The whole amateur athlete thing is such a fucking crock of shit. And what it was based on, and even what it is now, it's a crock of shit. These people work their asses off. Let them make some damn money in a league, and then compete at the Olympics. What do we want? We want best on best. Do we not?
Yeah.
Then that's what we want.
Yes.
Stop the amateur athlete shit. Jesse, you're absolutely right. Don't be a hypocrite.
Yeah, there's so many shady things going around in and around the Olympics.
Well, and let's be honest. China's a bit of a problematic country with what's going on with tennis right now, right? And human rights, and so, like, you know, I know that this isn't going to make me popular, but I they literally a Chinese tennis player disappeared. And China and the WTA just canceled $1 billion worth of events in China next year because they're like, we don't know that she's not under some sort of issue here. We can verify she's alive, but we don't know where she is.
At the Summer Olympics, didn't another country, I want to say a European country, like essentially try to abduct an Olympian?
No, Belarus, a Belarusian Olympian escaped Belarus.
Right. But like wasn't there something about like at the airport?
I don't know.
Okay. Well,
yeah. But anyway, my thing is like the Olympics are all like, yeah, togetherness, but you know.
No. But then you award, what is it, 2 Olympics to China in the last 10 years?
Yeah. So a corporate logo, though, that's the problem.
But yeah.
We need to keep corporations out of the Olympics and dictatorships in. Let's go.
Yeah.
It's just wild, man. It's wild. I don't know. Anyway, it's a problem for me. Sorry. Shouldn't have ranted like that.
No, it's
gonna get a bunch of hateful comments from bots.
What, you didn't like the Dick Pound was trending the other day?
Was he trending? Why is he always trending?
He's been trending for like 20 years now.
Dick Pound fucking comes out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Dick Pound's a Canadian. And he comes out of nowhere and he goes, athletes are doing steroids. And people are like, whoa! Every time. It's his MO. Every time.
Every 2 years we hear from Dick Pound.
I'm pretty sure Dick Pound trended on December 1st.
Did he?
Which, you know.
Yeah, at the end of No Nut.
You know, well, you know.
I'm just saying.
There's me trying to be subtle. And
Nah.
There's you going,
Dick Pound.
Dick Pound.
Jesse, next question.
This comes from Noodleman1510 on our Discord. Wait.
In school, he was pound, dick.
Stop.
Okay,
Sorry.
so
What? Steve, what?
Richard. He's Richard.
Noodleman wants to know, if you could bite 3 people in history, dead or alive, who would they be? This is a throwback to Brendan
Pound.
Lemieux earlier this week. Biting Brady Tkachuk. Who would you guys bite? You get 3 bites
Boy,
to
that's a good
any
question.
figure in history, dead or alive.
Everybody.
Who you biting?
You're doing this too, Jesse.
Sure. Who you got, Steve?
So you don't want to go too far back in history because then they'd be dirty. You know? You don't want to put a dirty
Well, you're worried
hand-
about it kicking back onto you?
Yeah. Like, I don't
But
want
you got all the vaccines that they didn't have.
It's true.
Yeah, I think you're in this scenario. You're a time traveler, and you get to come back, and you're fine. Just wash your hands, or rinse your mouth.
You're not going to get rubella.
Yeah,
You'll be all right.
you won't get scurvy because
Yeah.
you bit somebody.
But you will get it if you don't eat your damn vegetables.
Yeah.
So what's
think
the
it's
scenario?
good.
It's like, okay, I'm just randomly...
No, you right now. I have a machine that allows you to go back in time and bite somebody, and then come back.
And
Once you make the bite, once you chomp down, you're transported back to this time.
Oh.
And that person has to continue living their life having just been bitten by a time traveler.
Yeah, nobody will believe them.
Oh, that's awesome.
So where are you going? Who are you biting? What are you doing?
Like, what if I was the reason that Hitler started to do drugs because I bit him?
You're not changing any course of history by
But I
biting
am.
somebody. No.
He got bit by a time traveler, and had to live,
So,
and no one believed him.
The way time traveling works is that everything that's already happened, because you've already time traveled, because you've already gone back. So everything the way that's going to play out has already happened the way it's going to play out. So you've already affected history by going back in time. So
You just haven't done it yet.
Yeah, you just haven't done it yet. You here haven't done it yet, but in the past you've done it yet. You've done it. So just bite somebody. This is much more complicated than it needs to be.
Can we just fucking answer it? Like, what are we doing?
No, I want to know the parameters
Of time
in which
travel.
I am biting a historical
You
monster.
become your own grandmother when you go back in time because you accidentally sleep with somebody in your family.
Okay. Like,
Ew.
I didn't need that. I didn't need that.
Oh my God.
There's already alleged royalty in my family. Like, I didn't need that.
Okay.
I didn't believe me. It's occurred to me.
I'm going to keep saying things until you just name somebody you're gonna
Okay,
fight.
all right. Number 1, Genghis Khan. Cocky asshole, was way too sure of himself. And I just think it would take him down a peg to get bitten by a time traveler and have no one believe him. He wouldn't even tell anybody. He wouldn't. Because it would make him seem weak to admit that he was bit. Especially by someone who looks like me. You know? Just all kind of doughy. Guess what? Think you're a powerful leader? Doughy guy just bit you and then disappeared. You didn't even get to do anything against him. So Genghis Khan, fuck that guy. Number 2, Hitler. Number 1, fuck that guy. But also number 2, towards the end, I feel like, you know, he thought, I'm gonna go out on my terms. Guess what? Before you go out, I'm gonna bite you. So that I would specifically bite him right before it was all over for him. Right before he died, he's like, all right, I'm Hitler. I'm going out on my terms. Nope. You got bit by a time traveler.
What if you bit Hitler?
What?
And then he went out in front of a crowd and said, I was bitten by a time traveler. And then he was basically, they all were like, wow, this guy actually is crazy. And let's all not follow him anymore.
See, Adam's on board with my version of events.
You're not changing history by biting somebody. We've already established that. History has already happened.
No, but what if history happened because I changed it?
Yeah, okay. That might have happened.
So everything still
but
happened.
Everything still happened.
it.
This is not the focus here.
I just want to inflict pain, or there's maybe pleasure too.
And Mussolini, he was a truly ridiculous person, and he put my family in jail, and fuck him for that, and fuck his stupid lower lip, and I would bite him.
See,
I was about to say I'd bite his lower lip. I wouldn't. I'd
Steve's
bite
missing
something
the
else.
opportunity here to a little love bite.
A love bite?
love
I'm
bite.
going to go next because I think
You
Adam...
would nibble someone?
Oh, are you trying... Oh, Adam's trying to get...
no. Oh, no.
Do we want a little love bite?
No.
No? You want to nibble on Mussolini's ear there?
I'd Mike Tyson Mussolini's here.
Jesse, go
I'll
ahead.
go because I think Adam's going to have the best answers because he knows history.
I don't know.
So I'm going to do one. I'm going to bite Muhammad Ali.
Oh.
Because I want to be like, I bit the greatest fighter ever. I took him down a peg.
You
by
might have the
fighting
best answers already, man. I don't think I'm going to compare to that. That's amazing.
him. Next, Christopher Columbus because I think he's a dickhole.
That's a good answer.
And I want to bite him and then just run away.
You know, I have to
because I
be-
feel like he deserves it.
Here's the thing about Christopher Columbus. One of history's greatest dickholes.
Yeah.
So thank you for that.
So what? You wouldn't want to bite Muhammad Ali and be like, take that? Dance like a butterfly for my teeth. And then lastly,
you know I'm the greatest, and you know no one would believe you.
and then lastly, I'm going to do Jesus so I can say I ate the body of Christ.
And you don't have to take the sacrament.
And then the sacrament is mine because I
Wow.
ate it in real life. So and then I'll bite Jesus. Adam, who are your three?
Who are my three? I don't think
think I
there's.
got
I don't even
Steve.
think I need to go.
I got
I honestly don't.
Adam, who are your three?
Oh man,
Are you okay?
this guy.
Adam, we need your three.
Do we?
Yes, we
Good
do.
luck, Adam.
So I would go back in history and I would bite Steve.
Like as a child?
I would bite Steve in like grade 9.
You're a monster.
And then I would say, you're a bitch. And then he would claim forever that I did that to him. And I'd be like, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
I don't have a time machine.
then-
I'd be like a guy who looks and sounds
And then-
exactly like an older Adam bit me. And he talks exactly like grade 9 Adam does.
No, you wouldn't know Adam.
Oh, you would know me.
grade 9? No, I knew him.
Yeah, he knew
Okay,
him.
but we'd be doing this podcast and you'd be yelling here, Adam, you came back in time when I was in grade 9. You
Yes.
bit me, and we'd all be like, Steve, you
you're
need more
fucking
meds.
crazy, man. And then I would actually do it. I'd be like, here's the thing: it's perpetuating because Steve would say it so much,
Yeah.
and we'd be like, no, Steve, that didn't happen. That when the time machine was presented to me, I'd be like, that actually sounds like a great idea. I think I'm going to do that.
It would be an 8-year joke on this podcast.
yeah, it'd be incredible. Think of the
Forever.
content.
And nobody would believe you. Adam, that's evil.
I would, when I was in grade 2, I bit my dog back because he kept biting me. He was in.
Oh, so you've done it.
Yeah, I have. So I was grade 2.
You're 7.
Reasonable, but
Did
not
you
reasonable.
time travel?
No, but I would go back. This fucking guy. So I would go back and bite him again because he deserved it. Dog had it coming.
Wow.
Not heavy, but just he kept nipping
Let him
at me.
know.
Yeah, just be like, hey, I'm here.
You must have had a lot of fur in your mouth.
I did. He was a white short hair dog too, like Bindi, and like your dog, and so like it was like afterwards.
Oh, God.
It was pretty bad. Let me tell you, I lost that fight. And then the third, who the fuck would I bite?
Can I change one of my answers while you're thinking?
Sure, yeah, of course.
No.
Okay, no, I want to change one of my answers. So I'd still bite Hitler and I'd still bite Genghis Khan.
But not Mussolini?
I wouldn't bite Mussolini because the Italian people took care of that asshole. They took care of him.
They did.
They finished him. So I would bite J.K. Rowling on the fingers before she got Twitter. I would bite her and I'd be like, stop
No.
ruining it. And then I'd go back in time.
No, you don't change history.
No.
No!
She'd still have Twitter and
she
do
would
all
still
those
write
awful
problematic
things.
shit
Yeah.
on Twitter. Don't worry.
No!
You're not changing history.
I'd bite her anyway.
Maybe she did that because you bit her. Like that, you could have instigated all
Yeah.
that.
Hey, this fucking guy bit me and no one will believe me. Let me say something mean.
And now I'm transphobic.
Steve, look what you caused.
Who wrote The Catcher in the Rye?
Oh, that fucking guy.
You're not changing history.
No, but I just hated that book.
J.D.
So
Salinger.
that one. I'd
Oh,
bite
that
them.
fucking book.
I'd bite them.
Man, you can tell a lot about a person by their feelings after reading The Catcher in the Rye. There's a lot.
Justin Fisher's wrong on that one.
Yeah, he is wrong. It's a shitty
wrong.
book. It's a shitty book. It's wrong. It's shitty. And by the way, flat out, that's who I'd bite. I'd bite Holden Caulfield. That's who I'd fucking bite.
Yeah, but he's fake though. He's fictional.
Fuck.
I know, but you wish
know
you
what?
could.
I go back and I go give. Speaking of Justin Fisher, I go give him a little love bite, right on the neck.
Oh man, so you'd bite 2 people you went to high school
Yeah.
with. And who was the other one?
Well, you. And then
No,
my
no,
dog.
no.
My dog, Max. Grade 2.
This is good answers.
Okay.
I don't know.
I just want to make Justin feel things. I want you to think you're crazy, and I'm going to gaslight you for 8 years until it actually happens. And then I want my dog Max to get bit again because he needs to know. Okay, haven't forgotten, Max. Sometimes you got to assert your dominance. So I think we're done here, right? Do you feel like
we're good?
Do you feel like we did a good job today?
What if I went back in time as a 33-year-old man and like while I was getting bullied when I was 12, I bit the 12-year-old who was bullying me. And I look at me and I go, it gets better. And then I disappear. Don't worry about it. Everything's going to be fine.
That would be an experience that
Sign up for YouTube.
You'd be in therapy for that. Yeah. No, straight up invest in YouTube. Buy Bitcoin.
Stop using Dogpile. Go on YouTube. Or use Google.
Or Ask Jeeves. Remember that? Ask Jeeves.
I do, but I use Dogpile.
Did you use Dogpile?
Yeah, and the only reason I use it is because I was a child and thought it was funny because it's poop.
Is that what it was?
I don't know what
Dogpile.
Dogpile is.
Dogpile is one of the original search engines, along with Ask Jeeves.
Yeah,
I know Ask Jeeves.
Yahoo, Google, Ask Jeeves,
And wasn't
Dogpile?
wasn't it one of them supposed to be like child safe, and that's why they wanted us to use it in the TDSB?
I don't know. I was like 10.
There you go. Okay, well, I'm old enough to have used floppy disks at school.
Oh yeah.
Close it. Thunk. Oregon Trail with a space bar. Let's
I remember
go.
when the internet came on a CD from OAL.
Oh, AOL.
AOL.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Jennifer Aniston and Matthew Perry explaining Windows 95 you put a little CD in. And
Oh, wow.
I don't know that one.
Yeah, so
No.
if you look it up, they actually filmed a video, and if you bought, I think, a Mac, or no, you bought a Windows computer or whatever, you bought Windows 95 operating system, it would come in this thing, and it would be like them explaining to you how to use it. It's fucking great. I just finished reading the Katie Couric book, and she plays some of the clips of like asking the producers while she's on the Today Show what the internet is. Can you explain this?
Oh, wow.
Whoa.
Yeah, it's kind of cool.
Can you explain this in a way that doesn't make it seem like a fad?
Yeah.
Have you guys seen the Beatles doc that's on
No,
Disney Plus?
I want to.
I'm gonna binge it this weekend.
here's
I've
the
seen
thing.
the clip.
Everybody's
Everyone's seen
it's
the clip.
8 hours. Like,
Holy shit!
yeah,
really?
why?
Wow.
Everybody on Twitter always takes one clip and focuses on it.
Here's the
That
thing.
sounds like work.
Paul has always
Watch-
been my
watch
boy. Paul has always been my boy. I have always been a Paul McCartney solo fan. I love Wings. I love the shit that he did on his own. And people were always like, "No, it's."
I love that Rihanna song.
I love. John's better. George is better. No, Paul McCartney is the man, and I believe
said
this
George is
documentary
better?
spells that out. What's that?
Who the hell said George is better?
Oh, a lot of people.
They're
wrong.
misguided.
Yeah, they're wrong. Paul McCartney is a genius among geniuses. The three of them were brilliant, and then there was Ringo, who was lovely.
Who
And-
tagged along?
Yeah, what did they say about Ringo? He wasn't the best drummer. He wasn't even the best drummer in the Beatles.
Yep.
Right. So, but yeah, Paul McCartney's the man. He's always been the man, and I just like that he's finally getting the spotlight.
Are you guys gonna commit to watching 8 hours on Disney?
No.
Plus? You're not gonna watch it?
I mean, I might over the course of, like, I don't know.
I feel like I know enough about
I haven't
the
even watched The
Beatles.
Sopranos yet, man. Like, I don't know. I don't have time to watch a lot of TV.
Oh, really?
Well, I did. I will say this: I did watch Selling Sunset. And,
Okay.
And have you seen the most recent
I'm
season?
on-
I haven't tried ice cream, but I have tried.
I'm on
mushy
episode
peas.
3.
What the fuck?
Okay,
I'm on episode
Jesse,
3.
Okay, of this new season, if you watch Selling Sunset, you have got to wait till the last scene of the last episode
Okay,
of
don't
this
spoil
season.
it.
I'm
You're
not going to
spoiling
spoil it. All I'm going to say is it's one of the greatest scenes in television history right there. It's fucking amazing. So good. So you need to watch it. You've never watched Selling Sunset?
I've seen episodes.
Of course you have. Your wife loves that
Yeah.
stuff.
Oh, she loves garbage.
It's the best. I love garbage too. It's good.
She loves.
I'm getting into Below Deck now.
That's great.
Below Deck's great. $1 Million Listing New York and LA. Amazing.
$1 million listing isn't good. The characters aren't compelling to me. They don't have
No?
Christine. They don't have Chriselle. They don't have Davina.
But they
It's
have.
Not, it's not
you
as
don't.
good.
You don't think Frederick Eklund's a compelling character?
Nah, I get
Oh,
bored.
I
I get
love
bored whenever that's on.
Oh, I love that show so much.
Selling
So much
Sunset's
real
much
estate
better.
porn too.
Yeah.
Selling Sunset is beautifully shot as well. They always look like they're going to the club.
The best part of Selling Sunset, I laugh every time there's a transition song.
Oh!
And it's a generic song, but it's
Oh,
like,
empowerment.
oh, we're dancing and it's LA. And
Watch out, baby. I got my heels on, baby. And then they get out of the Lamborghini and they're like, here's this house and it's $22 million. Sorry, I'm only offering 21. Fuck it. The buyer won't do it.
now we're back in the office and it's LA and sunny.
All portrayals of LA are absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah.
So when I went there, I
They're
was
all
like,
correct.
well, yeah. When I went there, I was like, I can't wait to see what LA's actually like, and it was ridiculous. It was exactly that.
It's
No
literally
hyperbole.
how you think LA is. It's that.
It's that.
Yeah. Yeah, people are outrageous there.
And I went like shortly after Grand Theft Auto 5 came out. So I was like, hey, there's that building. There's that street. I've shot people on the street.
One day, Adam, we should take a trip to LA just to go take a picture in front of the Oppenheimer group.
Oh, I
This- this
love
street
that.
front,
Yes.
Here's us in front of the Selling Sunset listing place.
Oh, man. Okay.
I was like, what are you talking about?
I want to read you a tweet before we go. First off, one that'll make you unhappy and then one that'll make you happy.
I would bite Muhammad Ali.
Mitch Marner and Jake Muzzin collided at practice today. Mitch was slow getting up, had to leave practice early.
That
other
did
one-
happen earlier this season.
Yeah, it's happened again today. MLSE wanted to promote the Argos, which they do very little to promote.
Okay.
So they brought the quarterback, McLeod Bethel Thompson. He's got 3 last names as his last.
If before you
McLeod-
said that, if you had asked Steve, hey, can you name the starting quarterback of the Toronto
Doug
Argos?
Flutie. Next.
McLeod Bethel Thompson, he's like Ricky Bobby, but in reverse.
And for context, the Argos are 1 win away from the Grey Cup.
Right. McLeod Bethel Thompson, quarterback.
I believe you.
He appeared for a Raptors game interview on TV, but by doing so, he violated CFL COVID policies. By the CFL's rules, he's not eligible to play Sunday.
What?
Yeah.
Because he went to a Raptors game?
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
No.
But Wayne Simmons was at a Raptors game.
Yeah, but that's CFL rules. CFL rules, you can't do that.
What are they allowed to do?
I don't
Nothing,
know.
I guess.
Nothing, I guess. Yeah, you can't go out for. Is it isolating 4 days before a game or something?
But the team sent him to go promote the
guess they
Eastern
didn't read-
Conference Final.
Yeah, but it would be a
handbook.
suspension from the league, not from the team. It's the Argos who made the mistake.
That's a crazy story. Oh God,
That's one to watch.
I hope they win.
You told me the Argos were 1 game away from the Grey Cup just in time for me to be disappointed by them. This is the only Argos news I know.
It's the Rough Riders year anyway.
If the Argos go to the Grey Cup, they win on Sunday, despite their quarterback being suspended. Will you go to the Grey Cup?
No.
It's in Hamilton.
That even more no. A no with the capitals. What the...
If I give you a free ticket,
I live in Oshawa. I'm not going to Hamilton. That's forever from here.
fine.
All right, we'll wrap it up. We're out of here.
You're lucky I came here.
We love you. We'll see you Monday.
I'm playing the music now.
Oh, play the music out. Imagine they lose this. And my thinking is, who do you fire? Somebody's in trouble for this.
You make
right?
a trade for Ryan Getzlaf's brother, who's on Saskatchewan.
Also, the Grey Cup isn't in Hamilton; it's in Saskatchewan.
Okay.
The Steve Dangle Podcast. Follow the guys on Twitter at Steve_Dangle, at Adam WYLDE, and at Jesse Blake. Connection complete.